Hello dear friends, today I'm going to show you how I actually cut up Daphne's Diary magazine to be able to make ephemera. There's such a lot in here and it's an amazing amount of stuff. I'm not going to do a lot of talking because you don't want me to see me going page by page, so I'll fast forward it. But I'm just going to start with one or two things to show you. So when I'm choosing a page that I'm going to be cutting up, I have a look at this side of the page and that to see if there's anything on the other side that I might like to keep. But in this particular instance there isn't. So I would cut that out, and very loosely I'm going to just show you that I'm collecting things to do with art. So the paintbrush is one thing. I definitely enjoy the bicycles, so I'm cutting out the little bicycle here. I'm going to also be doing a journal to do with the sea because my family's always had a lot of interest in the sea, whether it be fishing or whatever. I like this little corner here that I could possibly just put on a tag of some sort. So that's coming out. A word which I could use. So I have a whole envelope of different words with different texts. And I could cut that out. This little bee I might not use as a whole bee, but if I wanted to do a three-dimensional bee, because I think there's another image, I'm not sure if it's the same size, then I could superimpose that. So I'll cut that out on the off chance that when we get to the page that they might be the same sort of size. I'm cutting out this word here. A pair of scissors, yep, that's good. You never know when you might need a pair of scissors just to illustrate something that you're doing. I love these flowers, so they'll be part of a project at some point. And once you've got all your little bits and pieces cut out, then when you are sitting quietly watching a nice movie or listening to some good music, or perhaps even just sitting outside in the garden, you'd be able to fussy cut all of these. So I'm going to keep this word mindfulness with this picture because I think that that's rather nice. This is an insert which I'll show you just now, but that's a smaller image. That could actually be quite a nice large postage stamp. I like the sign, and you could always put different wording on the sign. These little numbers can also be useful. Some are cut fairly close, but if you wanted to add numbers to your work, travel, there's a nice word that you could actually add. And of course, if you are wanting to, you could always cut these out with a guillotine. So here's another number, 40. And here's a 32. And here's 112. And I rather like this blue vase. Like that. I've got a soft spot for blue and white china. Possibly I could actually even use that section as well. So you can see just from one page that I've already taken out quite a lot of stuff that I can actually use. So I'm going to continue now, just cutting as I film. I'm not going to talk because I will speed this up. I had a bit of a disaster. I was busy filming away, chatting to you all, and there was a momentary blip in the power source, the electricity and things, and because my phone was on charge while I was filming, because I didn't know how long the video was going to be, I didn't realize it had cut out. So I've gone ahead and cut everything out of the magazine that I want to use, and I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an idea of what I've done. So you would have seen that I had these two cutouts that we could use. They were inserts on nice firm card. These would make lovely, lovely covers for journals, especially with that fancy edge. And as you can see, you would easily be able to slide your signatures inside of those. I have cut out now all of my little garden seed packets, and so those are ready to fold together. You could do this two ways. You could either put the tabs on the outside like that, or you could glue it with the tabs on the inside. That's entirely up to you. Then there were quite a few images to do with cycling in this issue, which were really rather nice, and a nice cheerful yellow background. So I've fussy cut a round of those. So I've got a whole lot to do with cycling, and you will find that this is a regular thing in Daphne's diary. There's often a theme or two that run through it. There have been some lovely little tags, and I probably won't use the tags with the same wording, but I could superimpose another piece of card on that to make up the tags. So I had a whole lot of those. Then there were some beautiful pictures of fruits and some nice little recipes for making apple puree and things, nice for picnics, so I've cut those out. And then I've also got this man, his illustration of this man drawing. I've kept the fish with him just so that I could keep that together as a reference. I don't lose it because it's quite tiny. There were a lot of images to do with alliums, which are a type of, well, related to the onion plant, but they have these beautiful flowers, bees, lavender, and foxgloves. So I've cut those out, and I've got those ready. There was this cutout, I'll show you the bigger one of this, which comes as a pop art of musical instruments, but this you could use as an enlarged postage stamp, and I just love the tranquility of that setting. So it could be a focal point for something with a sentiment or a little bit of journaling. There were a lot to do with china, blue and white, teacups, tea houses. I've got a collection of those prints. There were some lovely little watercolor butterflies and some flowers which I've got. Things to do with art and stationery, little sharpeners, scissors. I love this genteel lady in her lovely soft blue dress. Then on the near the end of the Daphne's diary, you always get these tiny little covers to show you past editions, and these would make up great little books to go inside a journal, a little pocket book, or you could use them on tags and things. So I've cut all of those out. There was a double page spread which had these tiles. The page on the left had tiles which actually had sentiments in them, and the page on the right had blank tiles without the sentiments. But I wanted the stuff on the other side of that blank page, so I've cut the ones that have the sentiments out. And then there were quite a few things to do with the sea and with shells, and I showed you this one, how I cut it out, and then I actually didn't want it to stand up, so I just cut through the slash a little bit more so it would lie flat. But some lovely pictures to do with the beach, sea, and this lovely seagull. Then I also have a lovely collection now of these lovely watercolor flowers and birds. Those have all been cut out. The bigger ones, when I'm not being sure of how I'm going to use them, I've left them as a whole piece, just so that I've got options later on. Then I had a whole lot of bigger pictures, which I felt I may or may not use in time, so I've just cut those out. There's just a lot of different random images. They could be backgrounds, they could be anything you like. That's a larger picture of the one I saw earlier, same setting. I like that. It speaks to my heart. I really fancied this doorway as well, really nice and green. And this train thing, you could use those strips on their own. You could cut out those windows and make them almost into tickets, or you could actually use it as a train setting. The recipe cards, I've taken those out because you can add those into a collection and have them. There was this lovely little a Victorian bath with almost like a mosaic tile background, and I think that that could be a nice addition to a project that you're doing. And this was the pop art. I really don't know what to do with it other than to cut out individual elements. It doesn't sort of fit this way. It could perhaps go onto cards. You just have to use your imagination for that. And then I had a whole lot of other things. So where I have the edges of pages that I've worked with, and I've found things that actually I like the color of, perhaps, or perhaps I just like the texture of the design, I've kept these long strips, because sometimes you're just looking for a little pop of color to go behind something. So these are all strips that I've kept. Oh, there's some more. These are the washi tape stickers that come in the Daphne's Diary. They aren't always washi tape, but this time they are. And then I've got my bigger pictures here where I'm undecided as to what I'm going to do. The poster in the magazine I'm keeping whole for now. Some floral pages. Yeah, these I might just fold and make part of a signature, or I might actually cut them up. These designs often have a pattern background and a design. I think I prefer the pattern background in that one. And then I have the two covers of my Daphne's Diary, which I can use. So by the time I've actually cut all my stuff out of my Daphne's Diary and got it into my little stash like this, I'll show you that this is what I have left. And there's still stuff in here that you could actually use. Okay, so then I've got two little containers where all my teeny weeny little pictures have gone in. There's a nice little cat, there's some books. I fussy cut out that little beetle car, there's some signs. This was the lovely little ticket that was part of the Orient Express page. And then I have in this one some things which have got words or letters on that I have cut out. And then you do have sometimes background pieces of card like this, which are nice and stiff, that you could quite easily take something like a flower punch, a butterfly punch, a circle punch, and cut those out, because you've got a very, very nice basis on which to work. So sorry about the blips in the video, but at least you've seen what it all looks like when it's cut out. And thank you for joining me today. Please give a thumbs up if you've liked the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Bye for now.